5-Minute Habits for Healthy Living. This week's habit is plan your schedule. Hello, this is Dr. Brian Morris, and welcome to 5-Minute Habits for Healthy Living, where you will learn the tools to practice a healthy lifestyle 5 minutes at a time. Life has become very complicated with a seemingly endless amount of health information at our fingertips on the internet. How do you know what to believe and what not to believe? In these podcast episodes, I will sort through the maze of health information and distill it into easy-to-digest, time-tested, evidence-based practical strategies for optimal health. I've been practicing internal medicine for 20 years. I went to medical school at Johns Hopkins. I trained at Yale, and I previously held a teaching position at Harvard Medical School. I currently practice medicine and hold a teaching appointment at UCLA Medical School here in Los Angeles, where I teach these tools and these strategies to medical students, house staff, doctors, and of course, to my patients. Before we get to this week's habit, I'd like to remind you that the information contained in this podcast and at 5minutemd.com is intended solely for educational purposes and should not be used to diagnose, treat, or prevent any health condition or illness. This information may not apply to a specific health situation and is not a substitute for medical care by a qualified, licensed, board-certified healthcare professional. Please consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your healthcare regimen. After many years of calendar planning, it has become clear to me that reviewing and scheduling our calendar on a weekly basis is very important, both for our personal success, but also for our health. How is that possible? Most of our lives are packed with lots of events that don't seem to be optional, such as fixing a leaking toilet, attending jury duty, finishing a big work project, or attending an important meeting. These are items that appear urgently important and fill up our schedules rather quickly. And as we progress in our work and family lives, our schedules seem to fill up faster and faster with these sorts of events. Thus, what ends up happening is that our free time becomes very limited, and what usually happens is that the truly important things in life become excluded. The important things in life might be date nights with a spouse, one-on-one afternoons with a child, personal time to exercise, or practicing a hobby. So many of us end up focusing too much of our time on urgent activities of daily life and abandoning the truly important activities and events crucial to our health, such as exercise, sleep, and proper nutrition. Often we have good intentions and we really want to get these important activities done, but our good intentions sometimes fall by the wayside when we get busy. The truly important activities include close social ties with friends and family, a good, healthy relationship with our spouse or partner, exercising, eating healthy foods, things like that. These are all important to our health, but they only happen when we prioritize them and plan our schedules to include them. That's why a schedule is so important to our health. When our lives get busy, we may skip some of the really important activities for a few days, and those few days can become a few weeks and then a few months. So what are we to do? Each week, plan your schedule. By that I mean schedule your entire week down to when you'll exercise, when you'll see your friends, when you'll spend time with your family, when you'll practice your hobbies. Plan all of this. Why weekly? It turns out that weekly is usually the best frequency. Daily planning is important as far as listing things that need to be taken care of on that day. Monthly, quarterly, and annual reviews of the schedule also have a role in long-term goal setting. However, the week is the ideal mid-level time period that allows for both short-term and long-term views of life. Where should you keep your schedule? Use a tool that is convenient and portable for you, whether it's digital or paper. For most, a smartphone or iPad-based scheduler is best, but once each week, go through your upcoming schedule and put in everything that you want to accomplish this week, and make sure that you're free at those times so you can have the highest likelihood of these events actually happening. Again, this includes exercising, time with your children, time with your friends, time to practice your hobbies, all sorts of things like that. Obviously, emergencies can happen and your schedule may need to be adjusted, but the goal here is to at least have everything booked before the week starts to maximize your chances of getting the most important things done that week. Your homework for this week: pick a day each week. For most of us, it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but pick a day each week and plan your entire calendar for the upcoming week. You may also want to review your plans with your close family members and friends to make sure that everything is coordinated. Have fun with this. The rewards will be tremendous. Let's keep the dialogue going. Let me know what you think of this week's Habit for Healthy Living. Post your comments and your experiences on the 5 Minute MD Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter at Brian Morris MD, and visit us anytime on our website, 5minutemd.com. Let your friends and your family and your colleagues know about this podcast, and make sure that you are subscribed on iTunes. When you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, you will receive new podcast episodes as soon as they are posted. Also, in the next few months, we will be posting bonus podcast episodes at 5minutemd.com, including special podcast episodes not available on iTunes. And if you're finding the information on this podcast helpful, we would really appreciate it if you would take a moment and stop by iTunes and leave us a review. Thank you so much for listening, and remember to make today count. I will see you at the next 5.